BIOS. BIOS Basic Input Output System is the program a computer's microprocessor uses to start the computer system after it is powered on. It also manages data flow between the computer's operating system OS and attached devices, such as the hard disk, video adapter, keyboard, mouse, and printer.
BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. It is software. This software is very important. BIOS is stored on a chip. This chip is on your computer's motherboard. Think of BIOS as the wake-up program for your computer. When you turn on your computer, BIOS starts working. BIOS checks your hardware. BIOS makes sure everything is working. This includes your hard drive, keyboard, and mouse. After checking, BIOS starts the operating system. The operating system is like Windows or macOS. BIOS hands over control to the operating system. BIOS has several important jobs. First, it runs the power-on self-test, or POST. This test checks your computer's hardware. POST makes sure everything is connected and working correctly. Second, BIOS finds and loads the operating system. It searches for the operating system on your hard drive or other storage devices. Third, BIOS manages the flow of data between your computer's hardware. It acts as a translator. BIOS allows different parts of your computer to communicate. Finally, BIOS provides a setup program. Users can change system settings. This includes the system time and date. You can also change the boot order. BIOS is essential for your computer to start and function. Without BIOS, your computer would not know how to boot up. It wouldn't know how to communicate with its own hardware. BIOS ensures that your hardware is working properly. If the POST detects a problem, BIOS will display an error message. This message helps you identify and troubleshoot any issues. BIOS also allows you to customize some system settings. You can adjust the boot order to boot from a USB drive. This is useful for installing a new operating system. Furthermore, BIOS updates can improve compatibility and fix bugs. Updating your BIOS can enhance your computer's performance. Always be careful when updating BIOS. You might need to access BIOS for various reasons. One common task is updating the BIOS. Manufacturers release updates to improve compatibility. Updates also fix bugs. Updating BIOS can be tricky. It's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Another task is changing the boot order. You might do this to boot from a CD or DVD or a USB drive. You can also use BIOS to set a BIOS password. This password prevents unauthorized access to your computer's BIOS settings. Finally, you can use BIOS to enable or disable hardware components. For example, you can disable the onboard sound card. This might be necessary if you're using a dedicated sound card.
You will learn and explore more knowledge.